Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Chip Chatting with UCAP. We'll begin in a few minutes. Let's wait for more people to join. Where we are at that. So Aberdeen, yesterday was Independence. Nigeria clocked 2060. How did you spend the independence?
Oh, thank you very much. It was actually a quiet one for me. I was at home with my family. But I think it's a milestone. I said I was at home with my family, and I think it's a milestone for the country. Nigeria is a country with great potential, and we hope in the not too distant future we start seeing those potentials playing out.
Oh, great. So did you find out time at any point during your busy schedule, winding down with family to say a prayer for the country?
Yeah. I do that every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I do that. I take a cue from the United States of America. You hardly see any citizen of United States speak without ending their conversation with God bless America. So, and it's a no-brainer. You know, we all pray for success in our businesses, success in our family, but the fact still remains that we all reside in Nigeria, at least for now, and our businesses and families reside in Nigeria. So it's very, very imperative that when we pray on a daily basis, we also take some time to pray for the country, to pray for peace, to pray for development, to pray for good governance, and so forth. Yeah, so I do that on a daily basis.
That's quite impressive. So it's a must-do for every Nigerian. So we out there that are yet to inculcate that, I think we should be taking our time to put Nigerians into our prayer. Okay, we're still waiting for more people to join us. Okay, great. Yet again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Chip Chatting with UCAP. My name is Tega Oruma. I am a business development officer at United Capital Southern Region, and of course, your host for today. United Capital is a leading financial and investment service organization that provides bespoke investment products through its 4 businesses, which includes the trustees business, the securities business, investment banking, as well as the asset management business. To learn more about us, please visit our website at www.unitedcapitalplc.com or visit our digital investment platform on www.investnow.ng. It's also available for download on iOS and Android. Here with me on the show is Aberdeen Alade. Aberdeen is a trader at United Capital Securities. I can firmly say he's a go-to person for all things Nigerian Stock Exchange. Aberdeen, welcome on the show.
Thank you very much, Tega, for having me.
Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to be discussing digitally trading stocks for newbies. That's what we're going to be discussing today. And Aberdeen, I don't know. So for some investing newbies, for some starters in the stock markets, the concept of stock trading may seem somewhat of complicated. Some persons have found it a little bit tasking, a little bit interwoven, and that seems to resolve to most persons wanting to do a more easy investment, like the usual fixed deposit with the bank. Maybe you may want to tell us, what do you think? How do you pull out these people to wanting to invest in stock?
Okay. Once again, Tega, thank you very much for having me on your show today. I think the market you just described now, it's what the market used to be in maybe 5 to 10 years ago, not the stock market of today. So how do I mean by this? The market is it's at a stage now where technology has taken over, and you know, everything that has to do with technology means simplicity, right? So gone are those days where you solely rely on a broker to help you out when you want to buy or sell securities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, due to digital advancement, you can log on at the comfort of your home, at your office, to buy and sell shares. So when I hear people talk about complications about trading stocks on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, I say to myself, and that was our market 10 years ago, not today. And I understand why when it comes to newbies, they have that kind of mindset, because trading in stock involves some expertise and technicalities. But like I said, with technology, you don't need to do much. All you need to do is have the prerequisite requirement for you to open an account, and the platform puts you through on how how to get started. Even to the extent that we now have AIs that tells you, stocks to buy, when to buy them, when they are good to buy, when they are good to sell, and what have you. That's made investment in securities as simple as it gets.
Oh, that's great. So you've mentioned stocks a couple of times, and some persons, be it what it may, some persons must have wanted to invest in stocks over time past, and they find it quite difficult because they are yet to really understand the stock market and how it runs. Can you just, in a very simplified term, tell us what stock trading entails?
Okay, so let's start from the stock market. The stock market is a virtual place where people trade shares of listed companies. So your United Capital, for instance, we're a listed company, your UBA Bank, GT, Zenith Bank, these are quoted companies, right? And they measure the holding in the companies in shares, right? So the stock market is a virtual market where investors come to buy and sell shares of this company, right? So when we talk about stock trading, you're actually trading a company. You're associating yourself with a company. If you want to buy a UBA shares today, you do that by going to the stock market through your broker to buy the shares of the company.
Oh, great. So I can strongly say stock trading, it's being like a part owner of a particular company, this company of which I'll be buying the stocks from.
Exactly. So people do this for many reasons. So we are looking at it from an investment point of view. What it does means is when you buy the shares of a company, automatically you become an owner,
Okay.
in that company by the virtue of the units you own in that in the company.
Okay, great. Okay, some of our viewers may find it quite difficult. They maybe have come across some of the terms like bid, offer. Can you, in simple terms, clarify those terms for us in the stock market?
Okay, so on the floor of the exchange, so when you want to buy, we call it bid. So just I'm bidding you, like the common term say we want bidders. So on the floor of the exchange, the terms bid means buyers, right? Why the opposite of that those are offering to sell. So when they are offering to sell, when you see offer, it means the sellers, right? Then you hear terms like is it a day? So when you want to put in a quote. A quote is what you want to buy. So maybe you want to buy 1,000 units of United Capital shares, for instance. So you put the 1,000 units, then you quote, which is the price you are willing to buy the shares. So maybe you quote at current price of 333 kobo. That is the quote, right? So you see another section that is asking you, is it a day order? A day order means you are telling the system, is it I get supplied today, or I want that particular quote expunged from the system. That is a day order. That means if you get filled today, so if you have bidded and you get it supplied today, that is the end of that transaction. But when you click a day order, what it means is if you are not filled that day, that is, if nobody supplies you, the system expunges such order, from its record. then you have to come the next day and put it back. But when you click on good till execute, so you have terms like, you see terms like good till execute, what it means is you want to put a specific date and tell the system, I want this bid to be in the system until such date. So if I don't get filled on that day, then cancel that that trade. Then you start to hear big terms. You also hear terms like blue chips company. These are stocks of big companies, you know, big and trusted companies over the years. Stocks like Nestle, like Dangote Cement. They are usually high cap shares. They trade above 100 naira per share, right? So these are, I know these are one of those things that scares newspeople from the market. They believe the market is too technical for them. They believe there are a lot of jargons that they need expertise to come and explain to them. But like I said, with the advent of technology and trading platforms, you don't even need to know these terms. By putting your cursor on some of those platforms, it automatically tells you the meaning, of any words on the board.
Great one. So you mentioned execute earlier, and that means when you set your platform to bid, that's buy for you at a particular price, you have like a time limit, like a date to set to execute. So does that mean that the online platform covers this spread date for the execution to be done?
Yes, it does. So when you are putting a bid into the system, you have the bid price, the offer price, so a limit price. You can tell the market, you can tell the system, I want to trade at a limit. When you say you want to trade at a limit, that is you're saying, telling the system, I prefer the stock to be bought at this particular price. So what that does mean is that if the market doesn't touch your price, then you don't get supplied. So you could put in, like I said, United Capital Securities, for instance, close to their 333 kobo. So if I tell the system I want to buy at the market, what that means is if there's any other party on the other hand that wants to sell at 333 kobo, my order gets filled. That is an executed order, right? But if peradventure, I feel I could get it at, let's say, 330 kobo, and I put in 330 kobo, I'll only be on the queue. And I'll only get filled when there's another willing seller on the other hand that wants to sell at 330 kobo. So that is the limit between when you put in a limit order and a market order.
Thank you so much, Aberdeen. Okay. Over time, we've had people say they come to the market to purchase stocks and they got bonds one way or the other. So people find it difficult to come back to the market to want to purchase stock or want to trade on the floor of the stock exchange. So can you tell us when they say the market is bearish and the market is bearish, what time do we come to the market? What time can our viewers come to the market to buy? Is it when the market is bearish or when the market is bullish? So I think that will help some of our viewers.
Okay, so like you have with dealing in like every other asset, right? So when you are dealing in an asset, even for an artisan that sells stuff out there, the basic principle of dealing in equities is the same with dealing in all assets. You want to buy when it's cheap and sell when it's high, so you can book some spread. It's the same with equities markets, right? So you want to buy those quality stocks when they are cheap, which is the bearish period. So we have what we call the bearish period because stock market is always a reflection of the state of the economy. If the macroeconomic factors, if they are not favorable, if the outlook is bleak, investors tend to react by selling their assets, right? They take a flight from the market. They wait till a period where they feel things are much more clearer, when the market is much more stable. So what usually happens then you see stock of price staying down for a long period of time. So we call that period the bearish period, when you have consistent sell down of stock. So what you want to do as an investor is to come in and buy those quality stocks then, because what usually happens is that over time, the price of a particular stock, the intrinsic value of a stock, when I say intrinsic value, the true value of a stock, right, over time converges with what the current market price is saying now and what the true value of that stock is. So take for instance, if I believe United Capital should be trading for 4 naira and the market is currently pricing it for 2 naira 30 kobo, because the country itself is undergoing some unfavorable microeconomic condition, right? I should be buying it now at 240 kobo, hoping that over time, right, the true value of the stock and market reality will converge, which means the market will still come back and buy same stock for 4 naira, provided that the company continues to do well, as expected, as expected and based on what the underlying metrics are saying.
Great stuff. Great stuff. So you mentioned that the intriguing value of stocks are a reflection of the economy.
Yeah.
So I would want to know, with grading and all, how has trading evolved over the years? I think that insights will enable people want to play on that platform.
Exactly. So, like I said initially when we started the conversation, that the market you described earlier on during your introduction, of being very, very complicated and people not wanting to do it and looking for alternative investment, that used to be the market of the past, where there are no digital platform for investors to see what is going on in real time. So what do I mean by this? So I want to buy a stock, I need to call a broker, right? The broker might already even been on the floor. What that means is whatever information I'm getting from the broker, by the time the broker finishes trading for that particular day, I can only act on it the next day, right? So the broker or the broker or the professionals, they are always a day ahead of the investing public, because one, there's no avenue for them to see what is happening in real time. And even when they probably watch their TVs and they are seeing live feeds of what is happening, or they're listening to news, they're seeing what is happening, they can't act on it. They still need to call their broker, who now tells them, you know what, you have to go to the bank, fund your account, send me a paper mandate, or come to our office to fill a paper mandate. Then the next day we'll now do what? Carry out your order. What that means is you are losing 24 hours. And 24 hours is a lot of times in the market. A lot of things could have happened. You have instances where the brokers themselves, they could front run you. So you've done your analysis, right? United Capital is a good stock, UBA is a good stock, GT Bank is a good stock, and you want to buy it at 20 naira because you realize it closed 20 naira today. But tomorrow it could be doing 22 naira because the market could move 10% up or down. But you know what? If you were able to act on the same information today, probably you would have been able to buy it 20 naira if you have the opportunity to log on to your account, right? Fund it and just buy it yourself. That saves you money. It enables you to latch on to opportunity, quickly. And it means that nobody, is just dropping the can on you, because the reverse of that is, if something bad is happening in the markets now, because you are not aware of it, by the time you are coming tomorrow to ads, you are still trading, it's still news, because you are trading 24 hours, news, which means those conditions might have changed. So you see people carrying cans for other people. Yes, you see people carrying cans for other people. I knew this thing sold 24 naira yesterday, right? So I'm sending you my money, buy it at 24 naira for me today, right? Guess what? It might be only worth 23 naira today, but I've already sent you my mandate that you should buy at 24 naira because that was where it closed yesterday. So you have instances like that, and at the end of the day, you see people complaining, I've gone into the market, then I got my hand bumped. The second aspect to your question was the fact that 10 years ago, maybe the investing public didn't have this much understanding of the market like they do today. So there are a lot of people that they just went into it because their friend told them, you know what, this thing is moving. I invested last week and I got my return this week. The capital market doesn't work like that, especially when it comes to equity trading. Equity trading is meant to be a long-term investment, even though it has some short-term benefits. So what do I mean by this? Most of these companies, they pay dividend twice yearly. They pay interim dividend, they pay final dividend. So if you buy, let's say you buy United Capital Securities today, for instance, in less than 7 months' time, the company is going to be paying its full year dividend because its year ends in December, right? So that investment cycle might take 7 months because you are coming in October. But if you are coming, let's say April, immediately after they paid last year's dividend, the investment horizon will be longer. It will now be April to April, which makes it 12 months, ideally. So, but because you are coming today and the cycle, what, 7 months, doesn't mean every other time when you come in, you get dividend in 7 months' time, right? So you need to understand the cycle and you need to understand how this benefit comes in. But the most important thing that you need to have in mind is that when you invest in stock, it's meant to be for a long time, for at least a minimum of 1 year. But despite that, it has short-term benefit, like I mentioned, benefit like dividend payment, which also, prompt price appreciation. So when this company, when they declare these results and they pay dividend, what it does is when they impress shareholders, they are willing to spend more buying the shares of stock companies, which usually propels their share price.
Great, thank you so much, Aberdeen. Okay, so for emphasis sake, I would, for our viewers, I would also want us to reaffirm, as much as stock trading is a long-term investment, do we have short to medium-term gains, short to medium-term stocks viewers could purchase that could give them returns, good returns?
Sure, like I mentioned, so what happens with stock, when you invest in this company, they are bound to publish their results quarterly, right? So every three months, they publish their results a month after the end of the quarter. And when the market is happy with your results, when you do well, what usually follows is you see the price of such companies, you see it trend up a little, right? And that also adds up to what the company is going to be declaring in dividend. So while I mentioned the fact that investment in stock is a long-term investment, you see this short-term benefit like capital appreciation. I'll give you an example. During COVID, right, United Capital traded as low as 1 naira 90 kobo, which was just some 6 months ago at the peak of COVID in March. It traded as low as 1 naira 90 kobo. As we speak today, this same stock is trading at 3 naira 33 kobo.
Wow.
Right, that is more than 50%. So why I mentioned the fact that, and I could still cite, like I could cite stocks like GT traded 16 naira at the peak of COVID in March. As we speak today, it's 29 naira. Zenith traded 11 naira 90 kobo. As we speak today, it's 18 naira. So you see that, and these companies, they've also, with the exception of United Capital that doesn't pay interim dividend, both Zenith and GTB, even UBA, they've paid interim dividend. They paid interim dividend just last month. So investing in equities, like I said, has some short-term benefits in form of dividend payments and capital appreciation. If you look around today, you hardly see any other investment vehicle that could give you the kind of returns that some of these good companies, I mean, not just my friend asked me to buy and I'm buying. When you buy stocks with good fundamentals, believe me, you can't get it wrong. In most cases, you get good dividend and you get capital appreciation.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Aberdeen. Okay, everyone, please don't forget to put your questions in the comment section and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at United Capital. Thank you. Moving on, Aberdeen, I would want you to tell us what's, so over time, so if you look at our parents and the older ones, they would want to say, oh, trading stock, it's too traditional. They can't go that long route and all. But you've been able to tell us how we can digitally invest in stock at our convenience, at the comfort of our home, without getting our hands burnt. I don't know, can you walk us through how digital stock trading, it's very much different from the traditional stock trading? Because over time we've had cases of, oh, I gave this particular individual to buy stock worth this amount for me, and till today I don't have certificates, I don't have dividend returns, I don't have even a receipt for that, like a dividend warrant, what the case may be. So can you walk us through how digitally it's quite more convenient to trade stocks than the traditional way?
Okay, sure, Tega. Believe me, the market has evolved over the years. So gone are the days where for you to open a stock account, you need to have a PO box, so you could conveniently receive your dividend. With the potential. I know investors at times use their residential address, but the danger in that is, so you move from one resident to another resident, and your dividend warrant keeps going to your older address,
old
then
residents.
you now need to start tracking it, going to the registrar, trying to get your outstanding. But fortunately, the market has moved beyond that. Now, nobody issues paper dividend, right? Immediately you invest in a stock, your stockbroker will give you an e-mandate form that ties your stock investment with your bank account, such that any accrued benefit going forward drops directly into that bank account. And it's very, very flexible. You could have, let's say you have 3 bank accounts, you could decide to use 3 bank accounts for 3 different investments. It's your money, it's your choice. So there's no rule that even says it must be 1 bank account for 1 stock or 1 bank account for all your investments. No, the market is as flexible as you having 1 bank account for different stock or even different stock for any other bank account. So when it comes to paper dividend and people, the ASUs that you traditionally get in, really tapping into taking advantage of your dividend, those ASUs, those bottlenecks are now gone, right? You mentioned people buying and not getting certificates. As you speak, nobody issues certificates in the market any longer. So everything you buy is digitally and is now stored digitally. From the first day you are buying on the secondary market, everything you buy will settle into your CSS account, right? And when it comes to primary market transaction as well, once allotment is done, they are posted into your CSS account. So as we speak, nobody does certificate issuing in the market any longer, right? And also, gone are the days where you need to, go to your broker's office, fill a form, pay money, or go to the bank to queue and do all those are gone with digital platform. With our investment platform, you could go onto the platform, log on, open an account now through the platform. You open an account now, you can fund the account using the same platform without leaving your set. You open the account, you fund the account. If the market is still open, you could trade immediately. And once your order goes in and is accepted, the system sends you a notification that you've placed so mandate to buy so shares and so units, and the expected amount to close that transaction is this. And once it's done, once that order is filled, you get another notification from the system, which is what you refer to as contract note, that says these are the details of the deed you've just executed. So everything is now seamless. And it's not just within Nigeria. You could trade Nigerian market offshore. All you need is just a password to your account and internet connectivity. You could trade Nigerian market anywhere, especially with InvestNow. It's as seamless as that.
Wow, that's really quite interesting. So I may want to ask at this point, you mentioned that the times where we have to chase stockbrokers for dividends and all, it's all past. So our viewers watching will be wondering, do they need stockbrokers? Do we need a stockbroker to want to trade digitally?
You don't. So what a trading platform does for you is gives you that trading
direct
freedom.
access. Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't need like an
freedom. No, it gives you direct access. Of course, our lines are open just to guide you. Our lines are open to guide you. The platform itself, our platform is as advanced as giving you stock recommendation. So immediately you log on, right? So once you have your account set up, your account is funded, and you're thinking, I don't even know what to buy. For most of the stocks that we cover, at the front of the stock, you see our recommendation there, and it's in real time. If the stock is a buy from our research department, you see a button telling you this stock is a buy. And you will be surprised that even with doing the same trading day, if the price of that stock moves to a level where the system feels is the right time for you to sell, it automatically changes to, the recommendation automatically changes to a sell recommendation. So it's as seamless as that. When it comes to, trading digitally now, the only thing you need your brokers for is probably just to get an insight. So because we push lots of stocks out there when it comes to research, maybe a company drops a result today, the research department analyzes it and pushes it out to the client. Some of them will call back. So I've seen these reports, and I've seen reports for company A and company B What do you think about them and all those? So chat around that. But when it comes to actually you taking financial decision, investment decision with Invest Now or with our digital platform, what it does is it gives you that freedom for you to be on your own with little or no guidance.
Oh, great. So for taking investment decisions, for one who wants to start trading right away on the digital platform, what's the threshold? What does it take? How much would a person require to want to start trading online?
Okay, that's a good question because it's one of the myths I would just like to demystify now for lots of younger generation out there. They always feel for them to get involved in the stock market, they need millions of naira. Unfortunately, in reality, that is not how it works. Even while we know that there are some high net worth individuals and corporate organizations that could afford to start on that note, for most individuals, it's usually from small amount of money. As it is now, you could start with as low as 5,000 naira, right? And if you do that consistently over time, before you know it, you have a portfolio of millions of naira. It's just about being deliberate about it and buying stocks with value. So don't say because you only have 5,000 naira, you want to buy stocks of 50 kobo or 20 kobo. No, with 5,000 naira, you could buy stock that is currently selling at 596 naira. What that means is you probably be buying 1,000 units. But you know what? If you buy that consistently over time, let's even say over 12 months, if you start with 1,000 naira, 1,000 units, over 12 months, if you do your maths, that tells you that at the end of the year, you might have 60,000 units of that particular share, right? And the company is paying 50 kobo share, 50 kobo dividend at the end of the year. That means you are getting 30,000 naira free money, 10,000 free money. And the beauty about dividend, unlike money market investments or fixed income investments, well, every time they pay you, when they pay you, the interest is fixed, right? So at inception, you know what you're getting at the end of the day. With stock investments, the return it's unlimited, right? So I mentioned, for instance, the fact that United Capital was trading 190 kobo in March, and today is 330 kobo, is 333 kobo, which is more than 50% of just where it was trading barely 6 months ago, right? If the company pays, if you had bought at 190 kobo and the company pays, let's say 70 kobo at the end of the year, it doesn't take from the value of your share, right? That's just a return on your investment. And if you stay in that investment at that rate, if you stay in that investment for 3 years, what that means is at the end of 3 years, you'd have taken all your money back in form of dividend.
So it comes like free money.
Exactly. You'd have taken all your money back in form of dividend, while your original investment
is still running.
Is still there. And in most likely, the stock itself, the share of the cost, the price of that share would have appreciated as well if the company keeps doing well. And with most of these good companies, they are doing well. And you know what? We all know it. It's just that what we are yet to start doing is taking this information to the bank, right? So at the peak of COVID, people were working from home. A lot of people were spending more money on data like they've never done before in their life. So if you ask yourself deep down, you know you're spending more money on data. So what does that mean for the telcos company? It's good for their business, and that means they'll be making more money. So how do you benefit from that apart from you just pumping your money into buying recharge card, into buying data? How do you benefit from that?
So you should be looking at buying stocks from that sector.
So if we look around us on a daily basis, just look at stuff you spend money on. Look at companies, companies' products that you buy regularly, and ask yourself, apart from giving them your money, in exchange for goods and services, how are you benefiting from these companies, in the long run? The only way to do that is to go to the stock market to buy into the ownership of this company. So at the end of the year, when they release their results and they're declaring dividend, which is a form of them saying is a form of profit sharing, to the shareholders of the company, you benefit from that as well.
Great one. Great. So I just picked out now that for those of us that invest heavily on telecommunications, so apart from giving to them, we can also benefit from them by investing.
Sure.
Yeah, stocks. Great. Thank you very much, Aberdeen. Thank you so much. Also, moving on, would also want to know stock trading is one of the futures. United Capital, digitally on the digital investment platform, which is Invest Now.
Okay.
Can you take us through like a step-by-step procedure on how one can effectively walk through on that platform?
Okay,
So say a client.
Yeah, so it's a very seamless process. Even though the market is currently closed, I'll try and probably log on to our platform and share my screen and just run our audience through how seamless the process can be. Okay, so when you log on to Invest Now, this is what you'll be seeing, right? So you see the dashboard, then you see live trading, then you go to live trading.
Okay.
Okay, this is the live trading, right? Then you select your account. So at the top, you see select CSS account. So you select your CSS account. This is important because you might have more than one account, right?
Okay, Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Yes. So before we go ahead, one has to first and foremost set up a CSS account with United Capital.
Sure.
Yes,
sure.
and you can do that on the digital platform, which is Invest Now.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can. Sure, you can open it. So when you log on, so I'm not at that page now because I already have an account. But
Great.
for a newcomer, when you log on to a platform and you want to open a stock account, so you go to stock trading, then you click on open account. You fill the necessary field and you attach a KYC document. So what are those KYC documents? You need a recent utility bill, right? That is not older than 3 months. You need an acceptable ID card, right? Be it international passports, voter's card, national ID card, right? You need a passport photograph, right? And all these things, you don't need a scanner. You could snap them with your phone.
Oh,
and
wow.
once you complete the form, fill in the form, then you attach this document, and it comes directly to us. It takes maximum 24 hours. A CSS account notification will be sent to you, and once that is done, you are good to go, right?
Great.
The login details will come with that email as well. So once you have that login and you log on to the system, this is the first page you see, right? You see, good afternoon, this is my own personal page. So you see your name, then you see the dashboard. The dashboard will show you your balance. Then underneath, you see live trading, right?
Okay.
You click on the live trading. At the top, you'll see select CSS accounts. So we have this feature here because you might even have more than one account, right? You could have an account. Yes, maybe you want to have some long-term investments. You want to have an active trading account. So it's possible that you have more than one account.
Okay, so one individual can possess more than one CSS account.
You can. Take for instance, for myself, so I have an account for myself and I have an account for my kids. Okay. And I trade for them because they are still minor.
Okay.
Right. So all I need to do at any point in time that I want to trade is click on the account that I want to trade with. Right. So for this illustration, I'll be clicking on my accounts. Right. So I mentioned stock recommendation. So I mentioned stock recommendation the other time. You see that in front of ABC Transport, right? The system is telling you recommendation. We don't have a recommendation here because we don't cover it, right? But let's go to a stock that we cover. Okay, the market has closed. So I mentioned that it's real time. So the market has closed. We won't see any recommendation now.
Okay, right. Aberdeen, thank you very much. So before we go ahead, can you also tell us when the market opens and when it closes so that our viewers know when to go to the market?
Okay, so the market opens to the audience 10:30 on 10 o'clock on a daily basis, okay, and closes 2:30.
Okay.
10 a.m. in the morning and it closes 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Did you get that?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So the market opens 10 a.m. in the morning, closes 2:30. right? And that is why, don't forget, I told you the other time that our recommendation page is real time. So I'm not seeing much here. I'm seeing new. I'm assuming because the market is closed. Right, okay. I could see one just come on, okay, one just came on board now. This is Access Bank. The recommendation is telling me that Access Bank is a buy. Okay. Right? If it were to be a sell, the system will tell me it's a sell. So what this does, even for newbies that don't know much about stock, but they just know this, they know these companies, the good ones, the big banks, the big industrial consumer goods companies, they know them, the big telcos. We only have, I think, 2 telcos listed on this floor of the exchange. We have Airtel Africa and we have MTN, right? They know them. But the next question will be that at what price should I be buying them, right? Okay. And that takes a lot of analysis. But what this digital platform has done is, to take that stress away from you, right? And does all the, do all the calculation for you. So at every point in time, once you log on, go to the stock you want to buy, check under the recommendation. Once we cover that stock, and we cover a fair bit of most of the stock listed on the floor of the exchange, the system tells you this stock is a buy or it's a sell. So it's telling me Access Bank is a buy at this particular price, right? So I'll click on buy, right? Because it's telling me Access Bank is a buy. So I'll click on buy, then this will pop up, right? And if you check the field, they are very, very simple, right? The name of, you see at the top, you are seeing the name of the company and you are seeing the action you're about to take. I'm about to buy Access Bank, right? So I'll put in my units. I want to buy 100 units or 1,000 units, right? I mentioned a day order, a limit order. So under order type, you don't even need to cram it. You don't need to have to type anything. You just need to select, the one that you want that order to, sorry, because the market is closed.
Closed, okay.
Those pop up. But under the day order, under the order type, I need to decide if I want to trade this asset at the market. If I say I want to do it at the market, I'll be supplied at the prevailing market price. So if the best seller, for instance, is currently quoting 6.80 naira, if I tell the system, trade at the market, I'll be supplied 1,000 units of Access Bank shares at 6.80 naira. But if I say I want to trade at limits, which means I want to put my own preferred price, right? So I click on limits and I come down and say, buy access for me at 6.70 naira. Right? And the next thing I have to do to complete this transaction is to choose the time in force. Time in force means, how do I want the system to treat this order? Do I want it to be a day order, which means that after close of trade today, if no one fills me, as in if no one sells asset to me at 6.70 naira, the system should cancel that order. I'll click on day order. I'm done. Then I can just go and say buy. Okay. It's as simple as that. If I want this order to stay in the system more than today, because I'm currently seeing that there are no more seller of assets at 670, I'll click on good till date. And automatically the system gives me another option to select the date. So let's say today is 2nd of October. I could say, okay, you know what? Let this order be in the system up until 6th of October.
Okay.
Are you seeing the logic there?
Yes, please.
I say buy. It's as simple as that. You are done. It's as simple as that. Very seamless. All you need to fill is just 3 or 4 fields, okay, even depending on your choice. If I had said market order, that is it. I don't need to fill anything. It's just 2. The units, bam.
Okay.
Buy. You are done.
Great.
And immediately you click on buy, you are getting notification. You've placed an order to buy assets at 1,000 to buy 1,000 units of assets at 6.70 naira. The system sends notification to your registered email address.
Oh wow!
And once it's done, you get another notification, which we call contract note. Okay. That says you've actually bought assets, which is an evidence that you've invested, that you've actually bought access 1,000 units of assets at 670. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Aberdeen. That was fantastic. So I would want to reconfirm for our viewers, when you click on the go to date order, does it represent automatically, or you have to come back to the platform and also represent for the next day?
No, you don't. Once you click go to date, what it means is at the close of trade, your order remains in the system, which means on Monday, the system pushes the order to the market at the same condition. What you could come and do on Monday, you could come on Monday and say you log on, you look at the system, and you'll see that there are more sellers of assets at probably 17, and you are still telling the system buy assets for me at 16.70. So it gives you the opportunity to review. So you could say, you know what, today I want to increase it from 16.70 to 16.80. You're allowed to do that, right? So, but automatically, you don't need to do anything. The order remains in the system up until that 6th of October. At close of trade on 6th of October, if the market doesn't fill that order, then it's expunged from the system.
Oh, okay, great. Great. Thank you so much, Aberdeen. Okay, so let's take some of the questions from our viewers. They've been writing. So we have Kazim Bolaji. Kazim Bolaji is asking, I already have a stockbroking firm managing my portfolio at the moment and want to know if it's possible to register with another stockbroking firm again to manage my stock. So now he will be having 2 stockbrokers. So can you clear us on that, Aberdeen?
Yes, that's very, very possible. Just the way you are free to have more than one bank account, you're also free to have more than one stockbroking account. So we could have a stockbroking account with United Capital. You could have another stockbroking account with, say, for instance, there's another United Capital somewhere. You could have another, stockbroking account. So it's doable. You could have different, but the one you'll be having access to. So the account you'll be having access to at United Capital will be the account you've opened at United Capital. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So it's the same way. So you open a bank account with GT with Zenith. Every time you log on to GTB account, you'll be seeing your GT balance, right? You won't see your Zenith balance. Exactly. It's
Definitely.
the same way. Exactly. It's the same way. So if you have more than one stockbroking firm, it will give you access at United Capital. The only thing you'll be seeing at United Capital will only be the ones you bought through United Capital. But it's very, very possible.
Okay, great. So going on with Kazim Bolaji, he may want to know, does he have an opportunity to consolidate those accounts, to merge those accounts, like a transfer from maybe his previous house to United Capital? Does he have the opportunity?
Sure. And that process is also very, very seamless.
Okay.
Right? Gone are the days where you need to go. So like 10 years ago, if you want to move an account, you want to consolidate an account for ease of management, you have to go to the old firm. So the firm where that stock resides, you have to go there and sign a form. You take the form to the target firm, the firm where you want to now consolidate all your investment. You have to go there. Then they still have to take the same form and probably take it to CSCS and all that before the transaction can be consummated. Now it's very, very seamless. The CSCS themselves, they now have a portal where once you just inform us that you want to transfer your account to United Capital or you want to consolidate your account, you send your mandate to us electronically and we roll with that. So the same will be sent to your firm and CSCS and it's consummated. You don't need to be here or there physically. Is that seamless? No.
Thank you so much, Aberdeen. Thank you. Kazim, I hope that clarifies your question. Thank you for writing us. Also, we have a question from Anu Olowo. I hope I didn't murder that name. Is it advisable to trade directly or through a broker? So Anu Olowo wants to know, is it advisable to trade directly? Is it safe to trade directly on the platform, on InvestNow platform, or it has to go through a broker?
It's the same process. Believe me, it's the same process. Whether you are trading through your broker or you are trading directly, I would advise that you even trade directly.
Oh wow!
Right? Because so if you send in a mandate, I just shared the screen with you the other time where I demonstrated how you can buy shares from the Nigerian Stock Exchange through our platform. So if you send your mandate and you want a broker to execute on your behalf, what the broker does is the broker now go to that same platform right? Put in your account number, put in the units, and put in the price at which you said you want to buy, right?
Okay.
But you notice that for us to get to that point, you need to send an email to your broker. Probably you need to fund the account and send an email to your broker. And while you are doing that, you are wasting time, right? At that point where you think, okay, I want to invest in Access Bank, you could just, jump that process of having to send an email to your broker, having to wait on your broker to do the execution. You could just log on to your system and just go ahead and execute. You could be saving yourself some money there. Probably before that mail gets to your broker, before your broker gets the mail, the market has moved from 670 and is now doing 690. Okay. Because the market is very, very time sensitive. So I would say it's best if you can, do your transaction
directly on
yes.
the platform.
Yes.
So Olowo, you've gotten that. You can trade directly on the platform, and it's a very seamless process. So you can just go to www.investnow.ng and set up a CSS account to enable you trade directly. So moving on, we have an anonymous writing us here with initials EA. Okay, there was something tingling to his ears, I believe so. He said, did I hear you say dividends is free money? So Aberdeen, so maybe you want to throw light on that. Dividend brings free money indeed.
Yeah, it believe me, it does. Yeah. So it does. So so I have a stock, for instance. That I bought 5 years ago, right, at 3 naira. And over the years, the minimum dividend I've received on that investment is 40 kobo. So what that means is in 5 years, right, because I've received 40 kobo on my investment, I've gotten 2 naira in dividend. But my investment is still there.
Yes.
It's not as if this dividend will be taken from your investment. And I've had the opportunity to sell, buy it back at different times, just to enjoy the appreciation as well. So when I say dividend is free money, it's actually free money. So if you can take it like a bond. For instance, if you invest in a bond, if you invest in a 5-year bond, what happens is that if you invest in a 5-year bond, let's say 5-year bond at 10% in current climate, right? So what you get is you get a 10% coupon, right, every year.
Okay.
Probably you'll be paid biannually, right? So you get that over 5 years. And at the end of the 5th year, you'll be paid the last coupon payment and your principal. And that is the end of the investment, right? For equity investment, there's no expiration, there's no maturity. So if I decide to hold the same investment, if I decide to hold it for 20 years, I'll be getting my dividend payment, which you can substitute for that coupon. I'll be getting it for 20 years. And I'll still have opportunity to sell my stock if at any point in time it's trading far above the amount at which I bought that stock. So that's why I said dividends is more or less like a free money.
So guys, you can see that stock trading is an avenue for you to lick pepper soup, like the popular saying. So let's take some few questions before we quickly round up. From Ebezim Steven, what are the requirements to open an account with a registrar? I believe this what he intends to write here is a stockbroker. What are the requirements to open an account? A stockbroking account. Okay, so you basically you need a utility bill that is not older than 3 months. You need a passport photograph. Of course, all you need to is just probably snap one of the passport photograph. You need an acceptable ID. It could be your international passport, the data page. It could be a voter's ID card. It could be national ID card. And basically, that's it. That's it. Once you have those 3 documents, you could open an account. Wow, how seamless that is. Thank you so much. So, and all these documentations can be uploaded on the online platform? Yeah, all you need to do is just scan them. You don't even need, you don't need a scanner. All you need to do is snap it, right, with your Android. So for those who don't have... At the end of filling the form, then you attach the document and send it to us. It's as simple as that. Okay. So for those who don't have passports, a simple selfie will suffice, I guess. Yes. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, Aberdeen. So Before we come to the end of the show, let's take one more question from Kazim Bolaji. Would my CSCS account reflect the two different accounts with the stockbrokers? Okay, so, okay.
Okay, so like I mentioned the other time, you only see the CSS account you've opened with a particular broker. So if you have 3 accounts with United Capital, maybe one for yourself, then another one for your kids, and you've asked us to link both accounts to a single invest now dashboard. Because if those kids are not minor, they could have their own, invest now password and all those, so they could see their own accounts and deal on it independently. But where they are minors, of course, they won't be able to maintain their account themselves. Then there may be need for you to ask us to link your account and that of your other dependent. In that case, you'll be able to see, all those accounts on a single dashboard. So where I click the other time, where I click select a CSS account, it will be easy for you to click, you see a drop down, then you select, a particular CSS that you want to trade with. But where you have multiple stockbroking accounts with different stockbroking firms, like I mentioned the other time, just as it applies in the banking industry, you only be able to see details of the CSS account you've opened with a particular firm on your platform, right? If you want to see a global perspective, you need to go to CSCS. They will be the one to be in a position to give you a global perspective of all the houses you've invested with. But on our own platform, you only be able to see the CSS account that you've opened with United Capital Securities.
Okay.
I hope that helps, Kasim.
Thank you so much, Aberdeen. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, viewers, for staying with us to the end of the section. I hope it was insightful for you as it was for me. I saw avenues where I must mention you can lick pepper soup on the stock trading transaction. It's very necessary. I guess there was one that was tingling to the anonymous ears when he said, did I hear you say dividends is free money? Indeed, dividend is free money. So thank you very much, Aberdeen, for coming on the show with me. Viewers, we've come to the end of the show. Aberdeen, some viewers may want to seek further clarifications because here with me, I still have so many questions popping up that needs response, but because of time frame, we may not be able to take all of it. So I don't know, you may want to share your contact in which they could reach you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Tega, and thank you everyone who has joined us for this wonderful chat. You can reach me at abidin.alade@unitedcapitalplcgroup.com. My mobile number is 080-3564-4050. I'm always open to chats about everything Nigerian Stock Exchange. Once again, thank you, Tega, for hosting the show. And the last note, if you ask me, the best time to invest is now. You don't have to have 10 million naira, you don't have to have $1 million naira, you don't have to have even 500,000. Start from somewhere. And with United Capital Invest Now digital platform, you could do that straight away. Thank you for joining us on this call.
Thank you very much, Aberdeen. So viewers, you could see that you can start with as low as 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira in investing in stocks. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have learned a lot from this section. But to learn more about our investment products, mutual funds, stock trading, wills and trusts, on all other services being provided by United Capital, please visit our website on www.unitedcapitalplc.com or visit our digital investment platform on www.investnow.ng. It is available for download, like I mentioned earlier, on iOS and Android. You can also reach us on our social media. We are at United Capital PLC on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And on Twitter, we are at United Cap. Remember, there are scammers out there. If the account is not verified, so we have a blue tick, and the account is not verified, it's not us, it's not United Capital. We don't double money in 45 minutes. See you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tega.